One of my favorite stories in the Confession comes in the middle of Book 5. It's a story that involves his mother, an adventurous escape from North Africa to Rome. And this story is in the middle of the book, quite literally. It holds a central place in the central book of Augustine's narrative. In Book 5 of the 9 books in which Augustine tells his life's story in the Confessions. And Book 5 is in the center of that, and this story is in the center of Book 5. So I think that there's a way that he's kind of subtly telling us that this story is pivotal, this story is central, this story is very important. And the story is about Augustine's move from Africa to Italy. And while Augustine at the time didn't know it, the move would also begin to take him from a religious and philosophical confusion to greater religious and philosophical clarity. And an underlying theme of the story is, this is God's will at work. This is God's mysterious plan unfolding in Augustine's life. Here's how he puts it, quote, "You knew why I left Carthage and went to Rome, O God, but you did not disclose it either to me or to my mother." Now to the story. It's a beautiful story, highly dramatic. Augustine and his mom are in Carthage. She knows that he's planning to leave North Africa and go to make his life in Italy, in Rome, and that he's going to go there and pursue success. He thinks the students are going to be better behaved in Rome than they are in Carthage, and any good teacher wants to have some really good students who behave themselves. So that's why he thinks he's going. And his mom is upset. Dad is dead. Monica loves Augustine. Monica, as we know, has been weeping for Augustine, hoping that he would find his way back into the Catholic faith and to live a full life as a moral Catholic individual. So she is very disturbed by the fact that he is going to leave Carthage and, by analogy, leave her and leave his home. She weeps. She pleads with him to stay. And in the middle of the night, he finds a way to deceive her. He actually lies to her and slips away on a ship in the middle of the night, leaving her there to weep almost uncontrollably about the loss of her son. Now, this is dramatic in its own right, but I'm wondering if you remember back a couple of books ago how Augustine told of his study of Virgil's Aeneid. In Virgil's Aeneid, there is a very famous story about Aeneas's lover Dido and Aeneas's plan to depart from North Africa to go to Rome. He was in Carthage. Aeneas was in Carthage, planning to go to Rome, and the woman in his life, Dido, wept bitterly, not wanting him to leave her, not wanting him to go and pursue his destiny in Rome. And we know that the great god Jupiter in this story in the Aeneas is actually goading Aeneas to leave North Africa, to leave Carthage, and to go and make his life in Rome. Well, Aeneas packs up, he gives the slip to Dido, he fools her, he jumps on a ship, he sails to Italy, and she weeps and ends up killing herself. And a very dramatic story. Scholars for many centuries have noted the remarkable parallel between this story of Dido and Aeneas, a story which Augustine had singled out earlier in the Confessions and talked about how he wept over that story and how his tears over that story were wasted tears because it wasn't real. It was fake, and it was a kind of a fable that was supposed to train him in the use of the arts of rhetoric, but that it really took his heart away from reality. Now Augustine retells basically the same story in a new and powerfully true way about how his mother wept. We can't help but see that he is telling us a lot here. It's not the fake story, it's a true story. It's not Dido and Aeneas in a fiction, it's his mother and himself in a reality. It's not Jupiter working on Aeneas to take him to Rome to establish a new life. It is the real God in heaven who is secretly and quietly and providentially moving St. Augustine to move from Carthage to Rome for purposes of which Augustine is not yet aware. We find here that Augustine's deep study of the liberal arts and of classical literature enable him to retell an old fable in a new way that shows the real God at work in a real story, one whose end unfolds in God's own good time.